All right.
What's going on, people? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today?
Surrounding gang.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of IMO. I'm Jeff, and with me always,
Man on the road, in case you didn't know, it's Tawati.
facts. So before we get into it today, guys, please don't
Like,
forget to
subscribe,
subscribe,
comment,
hit
repost,
the notification bell, so
follow
when we
us,
post new stuff, you
comment.
guys get it here for sure. Do all of that. Do all of that, please. So yeah, what we getting in today, bro?
You tell me.
Today I'm not gonna do the traditional, talk about Africa and how passionate. I
You're
mean, I'm
not?
sure I'm sure
Oh wow, I'm
our
quite
audience know
disappointed. I
by
was
now.
expecting, I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah, right.
Wow,
Yeah,
you're
right.
not.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
wow,
I hear you, bro.
damn. Bummer.
Anyways, today I think is more time related for me. You know, earlier we are having a conversation when the bros were around. You know, you said something about the Earth moving around the orbit,
Revolving around the orbit faster.
faster.
You have
You
to
know,
change the
they had
GMT
to,
as
yeah,
well.
do all that
Update it
adjustment to time and all that.
to the time, yeah.
That makes sense,
Different.
right? Because I remember when we were younger, bro. Some days I didn't like going to school because I think from 8 to
You
like
wake up early as
2,
bro. You have to wake up
like
at like
it took
6
forever.
before this, bro.
Yeah,
And like that time, like 6:30. It was like from 7 that day started breaking.
right,
Now from
right.
like after 6, it starts
It
getting
starts
bright. By like
bright. Yeah,
6:30,
yeah,
bro, the
yeah,
sun is
yeah.
pretty much
Bright.
up.
Yeah. So time just goes by pretty fast. You know, we're talking earlier and we made mention about the younger generation, how things change, time going by and all that, and the younger generation having time to make mistakes and all of that, we having the experience and all of that as well. And I seen a video on Kirk Franklin. Shout out to Kirk
Shout out
Franklin. I
Big Kirk.
think what he's doing is pretty amazing with
Amazing.
the young guys and just trying to spread uh knowledge
Shout
and
out to
create
Kevin Hart as
awareness.
well. He's trying to tap in
Do
with
the
the young
same,
guys
yeah.
on the street as well.
So a bunch of these young guys, and then he was asking them intentional questions about their upbringing, what they thought about nuclear family, and the importance of father and all that. Bro, pretty good stuff,
Yeah.
right? I'll put a link to that so anyone can go there
Check
for
that out
reference.
later, yeah.
I say this because we made mention about the younger generation having time to make mistakes. But if the earth is moving
A
faster and
faster
time is
pace.
moving
Like a
faster,
quicker pace.
they don't got that much time, you know?
Actually, in hindsight, they actually really don't.
They don't have that much time. Like,
They have
a whole
leeway.
lot.
They have a little bit of leisure space.
People, we don't live as longer. There's more pollution, there's more
Drug
diseases,
consumption.
sickness, drug consumption, alcohol consumption. So all that affects our DNA and generation that comes after and all that. In my opinion, yeah,
Hmm.
I think with the way the world has sort of created, pushed this narrative of this individualism where, everybody, you do it on your
On
own, you
your
don't need
ones and
nobody, all
ones
that
and
kind of stuff.
island.
That's not really who we are. Humans, we're social people. You
Mm.
made mention about trees also talking.
Yeah, having
You see the
conversations and
effect of
sharing information.
trees in an environment, does have a
Increases
positive
our
effect, you know
oxygen.
same thing as
Excuse
we
me.
people being able to connect and forge ahead, come together and
Excuse
bring
me.
purpose and
Hmm.
value together. So I think, in my opinion, for humanity and for life, for us to get out of that circle of politics and old leaders still being in power
Mm.
and the younger ones not being able to say what they
What
feel,
they feel.
for all of that to change, I think people need to connect more and stop going with this narrative that media and mainstream media and culture is trying to push.
Mm.
I think there should be a bridge between every generation, like intentional bridge
Yeah.
where it's easier to
Information and
pass down
experiences, I can share.
experience. And from the young, I'm not just saying this for the younger generation or the older, like both, everyone involved. I think you and I as
Hmm.
well, you know, there should be that link where it's easier for us to catch on with the knowledge they have. Because,
Hmm.
bro, just like things update, iOS updates, time, new model of cars, bro,
The
we get
brain is
older
able
and we're
to.
not as updated, or we don't catch on as fast as these younger guys.
They are born in the time. They are born with
So
the
they're acclimated with,
access.
whatever resource they need to, forge ahead with whatever
Yeah,
that time
task
challenge
is. Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
So I think there should be that link from, we should be able to intentionally create that link from the older to the younger, have that link where we're able to meet and work on, moving forward purposefully, like
Mhm.
for the world to actually evolve, grow, change as it's meant to be. So
Mm.
we're not stuck in this, selfish, everyone pushing their
Vicious
agenda,
cycle.
this country fighting this war. Like there's a whole lot of wars going on lately.
Mhm.
Iraq and Israel, I
Yeah,
saw it on the news,
Palestine.
like
This.
the US, like what's all of that,
Bro,
bro? Like what's all of that? There's more to do than
children
all
being
that
killed and
selfish
burnt.
agenda
It's
type
crazy.
thing going on. So in my opinion, I think there should be a proper bridge for
Between
where
old and
knowledge
young.
can easily just, go with everything, and just, we move forward ahead. That's my opinion for the day, bro.
In our time, there was a lot of gatekeeping going on. There wasn't there wasn't a bridge. There was a bridge, but it wasn't open. So you have to cross the bridge, get to the gates, fight for your rights,
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
disrespectful if you had to, just to get that audience, just to get that attention. But I think for our generation, it should be an open bridge for the younger ones to be able to cross into the bridge and have access to information, have access to experiences from different kinds of people that have walked a similar line to them as
Right,
well,
right.
and it is a learning experience, vice
Both ways,
versa,
both
for
ways.
both
Right,
parties. You know what I mean?
right,
And I agree with you. I play my part in trying to put the younger generation on and also learn from them
right,
as well.
right,
And I've had meetings, I've had studio sessions, and I've had opportunities where I have passed down like link ups for this guy to meet this guy. He's
right,
young, he's hungry, he's talented. This guy is older, he's experienced,
right.
he's walked the
He
line.
knows what,
So
yeah.
yeah, they can meet in the middle, and I try to be that bridge as much as I can as well. So I
Mm.
think, like you said, is going to be very important for us to also play our part in making sure that the cycle stops
Right,
with us. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. We have to be intentional about it.
Extremely.
We have to be intentional about it. So yeah. What you got for us, bro?
Yeah, man. For me, there's a conversation about like, so for me, I think what I want to talk about today is the importance of preserving wealth, especially when
Mm.
it comes to like celebrities and like popular people, right? So there
Right.
was a rumor going around that Vanessa Bryan is like pregnant or whatever. It was a rumor, and I
Mm.
think she came out and made a statement to debunk it or whatever. I'm not certain, but I am certain about the rumors and whatever.
Okay.
And she's come out to speak about it according to same people. Yeah, I can see
It's
that. I can see that.
things like the
I don't
battery.
think that. Yeah, I don't think there's much of an issue. I see
Oh,
that. Yeah, yeah,
okay.
we gotta go on. So I think so. She it got us thinking. A couple of guys and I were having a conversation earlier, and we're
Right.
saying, what's wrong with her moving on, right? But she's now in sole inheritance of $600 million worth of Kobe Bryant's estate. You
Mm.
know what I mean? $600 million is a huge amount.
Oh
But
yeah.
this is also a grieving mother and a grieving wife. She not only lost her husband, she lost her
A
kid as
child.
well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even if she was pregnant, hypothetically speaking, even if she was pregnant, what's wrong with that? Concerns that were raised were, okay, the guy can now come in, get, you know what I'm saying, try and
Right.
now solidify things, you know what I mean, get her
Right.
digmatized, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying,
yeah.
work it out to a marriage or whatever. And once that happens, that already now
Sort of like
becomes shared
shift.
wealth. The wealth
Right.
now leaves Brian's
Brian's
like
lineage,
lineage and
legacy,
like
and
in his
all that.
legacy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Right.
which I kind of get. There's a popular billionaire too in is I think he's an Easterner, he's an Igbo man, I think. Like a couple of years ago he passed, and like they just read his will not too long ago and whatever. And the guy left majority of his multi-million-dollar investments and billions of naira worth of like inheritance and assets to his wife. And there's a simple clause on it that peradventure she decides that she wants to take up another person's surname or wants to get remarried, she has to relinquish the wealth back to his family, to the lineage, which is preserving wealth, which is what a lot of these northern families do. You know what I mean? This rich man's kid will get married to his friend's kid who he knows is also, you understand? Because let's assume I'm a billionaire, you're my friend, you're a billionaire, I ask my friend is a billionaire. You know what I mean? What's stopping my kid who has known your kid all their lives to get married? You know what I mean? It's something that we find defined as like strategic alliances and also a way to preserve culture and to preserve wealth as well. And I think it's actually a very valid method. You know what I mean? If you want to have a baby, that's fine. If you want to do this, that's fine. The person has worked, he has left it to you. That was his decision. He didn't put any clause. This is not Africa, you know what I mean? There was no clause attached to it. So it's her prerogative. I do not believe that she's not that wise to be able to spot out a gold digger. You know what I mean? Because she too, she's worked with Kobe, she's built with Kobe. She was an instrumental part of, because that was his wife, that was the mother of his kids.
If he was someone, something great, she had a role
To play in it,
see
no matter how
yeah,
significant or insignificant you want to look at it. You know what I mean? So, but in my opinion, I agree with the notion to preserve wealth at all costs. And if something like that happens, God forbid, you as a man, you have to pass and leave, you have to leave assets and funds for your family, for it to be in your family. That's how the Rothschild and all these like billionaire families kept on opening trusts. For every kid that is born, they open a trust, they tie it back to the main family trust. Do you understand? They found so many loopholes to preserve wealth.
Just thinking about this, from you saying this, bro, I haven't actually thought about like, because this is life. Anything can happen.
At
You don't know
any
what's gonna
time.
happen, right? So if I'm in that position, like, how do I protect my legacy,
Yeah,
my wealth?
my wealth,
Like,
yeah.
that's something to actually think about.
Hmm.
Because hey, like the Kobe's wife thing, like you said, it's Yankee first off,
You know
and
what I
then
mean?
I think she's allowed to move on. I think she's a
June,
young
June,
lady.
you know
She's
what I
not
mean? She's
that.
not she's not
She's
up to
not.
40. I
She's
think
not even
she's in her
40. So
early
yeah, I
30s,
think
I think.
it's okay for her to move on. It's
Mm,
just like you're saying, it's shifting
yeah.
legacy and lineage and whatever.
That's where
That's where
they'll be.
as an African now,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that. I'm like, okay, yeah, because
Even as a man, bro,
as a man,
putting in the work
putting in the work, and
and
then something else, like, bro,
but Kobe
it
is
kind
a
of hurts to
Kobe
think
Kobe
of.
Kobe
Not
Kobe is
gonna
an
lie, it's something to
icon.
think
Kobe
about.
is a legend.
Something to think
Kobe
about.
is someone that paved the way for so many young
Let us
athletes.
know what you think, guys.
Yeah, actually,
Let
I'm
us know what you
curious
think. How, like, what's your opinion on that?
on preserving wealth.
Yeah, that's pretty
How would
interesting.
you go about
That's a pretty
things?
interesting one,
Yeah.
bro. Sorry.
So in my opinion, I really think that like wealth should be preserved. If you have to leave for whatever reason, that something else is about to complicate that, you should think of the bigger picture. Think of your children. You know what I mean? And
Facts.
and
Big
things like
facts.
that. Yeah. So yeah, man. It's
That's true.
important. Is super important.
Oh
Super
yeah.
important.
I won't lie to you. I never thought about it like that. But
Mm,
I'm agreeing with you straight away on protecting legacy, wealth, and all of that.
mm,
You know.
mm,
But yeah, something to really sit and think about. Like,
mm-hmm.
because that clause that guy puts, and you're free to get married or whatever. But if you're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
that, change your name, you have to. That's something to really like think about. A lot of people want to come up and say a bunch of stuff, but that's something really interesting to think about. Good one, good one,
Mm,
bro. Nice one, nice one,
mm,
nice one,
mm.
nice one.
Yeah, man. So I think the thought of the day is on me today.
Oh yeah, it's on you for sure, for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for sure.
It's on me today.
What you got?
So yeah, there's a Japanese saying that goes, if you enter a train or if you enter the wrong train
Right.
and you realize that you're on the wrong train and you keep going, the further you go, the more expensive the trip back is going to be. So in layman terms, if you make a wrong decision, if you make a mistake, if you make an error, the earlier you can realize it and trace your steps back, the better it is for you, because the longer you go into the problem, the longer you go into the error, the more difficult it is, the more expensive in the sense of manpower, time, thinking, like yes, twice as much as the original price of the first mistake. So I feel like if you ever, it's never too late to start. You know what I mean? It's always the best time to start is right this very fucking moment. That there's breath in your lungs, there's vision in your sight, and there's motion in your feet. Right now is the best time to start. And again, if you make the mistake, now is the best time to start working your way back.
Right, exactly.
The sooner you realize and you've realized it,
Better.
you,
Like
you gotta start, yeah. And then you start working your way back.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
That's peak.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Always,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah. Yeah, so you put me on my toes with the last one, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, this thing really got me thinking, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, guys. I'm sure you guys are enjoying
This
this
is a good one, man. Yeah, yeah.
Don't
This is a
forget
good one.
to
Like and subscribe,
like, share content, share your
comment.
thoughts, your opinions, what you think you'd like us
Uh,
to get into. But I'd really like for us to talk about this preserving.
yeah, what do you think about that?
What do you think
And
about that?
how would you go about it?
See some comment on that.
Mm.
So peace out, guys. Have a great one. Till we meet again.
Be safe and be great.
Yep.
Come on.